Well, it has been an amazing journey.
It's not everyone's cup of tea.
I think telling the truth, living up to standards in society.
It's a very cleverly written script by him.
She is a professional marriage guidance counselor.
So Kavita, they want to know about your past in theatre.
Quite a bubbly character.
Bubbly character, definitely a bubbly character.
But it's a fun character to portray and...
very well educated, but not very well to do.
Yeah.
Read the script, I liked it. It made me laugh, and I thought I could, give it back to the audience.
Just help me get this lot up.
Oh, leave it alone. Give me a fork and knife and I'll eat off the floor.
Get it up! I'm expecting a visitor.
Oh, who?
Never mind who.
Oh, a mystery guest. How exciting.
Well, since you never have the time to take me out, I have to create my own amusement.
Quite right. So what's happening tonight is John Travolta popping in for a pot and noodle.
Well, it has been an amazing journey. Personally, I've worked with two of the cast members in this production. I worked with them previously, and two of them, this is the first time I'm getting on stage with them, and it has been an amazing journey because there's so much you can learn from them. All actors bring in a different aspect into the production. They have so much talent, they have so much to give, so much to learn from, and that, I believe personally, to me is a blessing and a privilege to share the stage with them. And even with Kevin, I mean, I've been knowing him from school days. We've acted together. He's directed me in school as well as on a professional level as well. So it's nice to come back to work with people that I worked with before and also meet new talent and learn about how they work around their characters, what nuances they bring into their characters to portray that character and, at the end of the day, to entertain the audience. So the journey of the entire Opposite Sex program has been wonderful and definitely one for the books.
Yes. Oh, yes, you are. Why, you can do that, what do you call, where you saw the legs of a cow and wrap it in pastry.
Beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington. You'd love that, Jeanette.
I'm a vegetarian.
No, you're not.
Mom, I'm sure Jeanette knows if she's a vegetarian or not.
You mean to say that you don't eat meat?
That's the usual interpretation of the term vegetarian. Unless Jeanette has thought of another new one.
No.
But you don't look like a vegetarian.
And just how do vegetarians look?
Well, they grow beards, they wear sandals, and they go around singing, "Hey, noddy, noddy."
He wasn't present in her life to give her that attention and the affection that she needed. Because she's, while he's away with other clients, she's at home by herself, having dinner alone, waiting for him to come, preparing his meals, and waiting, and he just doesn't turn up. So she just felt really taken for granted, which in our lives also is something that we need to always remember, because I think maybe as soon as you enter into a relationship or when you enter into a marriage, everything is good and you make an effort, but with time you start to take things for granted. So I think that it's a reminder for all of us to appreciate and value the people who are actually present in our lives and who have made a commitment to our lives and who remain loyal to us.
What the hell are you doing here?
I was invited.
I don't believe this. Of all the Derricks in all the towns in all the world.
Well, this could be an interesting party after all.
What are we going to do?
We don't have to do anything they don't know.
I knew you'd come back to haunt me.
So, that's the brat you married?
Keep your voice down.
He's a yuppie.
He's not a yuppie. All right, he's a bit of a yuppie, but he's my husband.
Oh, defending him now, are we?
I owe him some loyalty.
Well, that didn't seem to worry you too much in the back of my Morris mind.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, that was last summer.
All right, but it's finished. We agreed. Have you still got that Morris Minor?
I guess to portray like a very genuine role, you need to sort of understand a situation, you need to have empathy, to understand people, to understand the role that you're portraying, the emotions that those characters are going through is very important. So I think to a certain extent empathy is necessary.
Look, Derek, when I left home that morning, I was wearing a brand new, black, extremely expensive, lift and separate bra. Now what do you do with it?
Maybe I ate it.
That wouldn't surprise me. And what the hell did you do to my nipples? Sandpaper them!
What do you mean?
I was in agony. They were in Vaseline intensive care for 3 days.
Well, I just applied a bit of natural stimulation.
There was nothing natural about it, Derek. You've got better suction than my Hoover.
I love Shakespeare, so probably the production that got me started, or the production that made me really passionate about theatre in general is Macbeth. So that because also since we tend to study that for our A-level syllabuses, you really study that script in detail, you study the characters, you study the emotions and things like that in depth, which sort of really opened my eyes to the wonders of theatre.
So what do you do then, Derek, when you're not freelancing for the diplomatic corps?
I'm a teacher.
Now he's not, he's a lecturer.
I'm a teacher.
He's a lecturer at Brindley Technical College.
Oh, the tech. I know the tech. Oh, Vicky used to do night classes there, didn't you, Vicky?
Like adult further education. You could call it that.
Tuesday nights and Thursday nights.
Those are your late nights, Derek.
Oh, let them pay if they're offering. They look like they can afford it.
Derek!
What have I said? You're not embarrassed about being rich, are you, Mark?
Well, I'm hardly rich, Derek.
Well, you're hardly poor, are you?
I thought you picked up all those chips.
I did.
Well, I spotted a rather large one on Derek's shoulders.
Don't start arguing about politics. I hate when you argue about politics.
You hate me anyway. I might as well enjoy myself.
So working as a director, well, it's a lot of things. It's obviously you need to have the skills, the element of being creative, but I think you also need to be able to relate to your cast members and your production team, etc. That's, I think, a very important quality for a director, because you are the head of a production and you need to be able to manage your teams well. So I think along with being skillful in terms of your ability to direct and your skills, I think being able to manage your team and bringing that human aspect to it as a director is very important.
I was just thinking. There I was at home every night, thinking that my high-flying executive husband was screwing everything in sight. When in fact, he's the only one who hasn't had a sniff.
some moral values. Oh, the news of the world will have a field day. I can see the headlines. Teacher and marriage guidance counselor in car sex romp.
How about sex-starved yuppie makes pathetic bid to get into A1 lady's pants?
How about arguing husband gets a kick in the nuts?
Well, opposite sex is all about basically one's infidelity, is it?
Sort of, I would say. It's more of how unexpected life can be, like things that you've done in the past just suddenly just show up in the present and you're just shocked and try to manage it.
By the way, Derek, really nice shoes. Leather?
To be someone else on stage and believe that that is you is it's like not letting go of that childhood habit of being able to make believe.
Ah, I see you've got red socks on, Derek. Any particular significance in that?
Oh, God.
Anyone fancy a hula hoop?
Oh, yes, thanks.
What sort of significance?
Have a hula hoop, Derek.
Oh, I don't know. Red's a very strident color. It can mean so many different things.
Have a hula hoop.
Like what? Anger, danger.
They're very nice.
Community.
I don't want the friggin' hula hoop!
For me, I would think, some people have the chance to find the right person, and some people don't. And when you find the right person, some people do get the chance to be with that person for the rest of their lives. And some people don't find the right person, have to be with the wrong person for the rest of their lives. So, marriage, I think, it's in a culture in South Asia, it's looked at as a necessity. But I think personally, it's important for individuals to get to know themselves before they try looking for a partner. And at the end of the day, as much as it's amazing that if you do find the right person, it could also be very scary if you don't.
Yeah.
I'm a marriage guidance counselor.
A marriage guidance counselor, really?
Yes.
Well, you know that old saying, Jeanette? If you can't do it, teach it.
Opinion about marriage is something that I can't really comment on because none of us are married.
Yes. So neither of us are married, but I'll just take a line from the play. So Jeanette says, we've both made a mistake and we've both got to start over again. And I think a lot of the time nowadays, there's a tendency that, if it's broken, then there's no point in fixing it. But it's interesting the way that this writer looks at marriage. Yes, there's all of this humor around adultery and infidelity and all of that. But at the end of the play, both couples leave the scene they're with each other, and they're going to start trying again. And I think that's important, and it's a message that I think we can all learn from.
Well, I like any sort of music, don't I, Derek?
Oh yes, as long as it hasn't got any meat in.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's Julian Reeves from his LP. Ponzi crap to impress people at dinner parties.
Want one?
Oh, no, I'm not really a bitter man.
I suppose you prefer lager?
Well, yes.
Thought so.
Well, there's nothing wrong with lager, Derek.
Well, it's not ozone friendly.
Isn't it?
No.
Why?
It makes me fart.
Derek!
Well, it's nice to know that you do your little favor for the environment. Oh, would you want a glass with that, Derek?
No, I prefer the can.
Oh, right.
Well, where's Vicky then?
Oh, she'll be down in a minute. She's just combing her hair.
I didn't see you last Tuesday.
Didn't you?
You went out.
Did I?
You dirty sod! What the hell did you get up to?
Well, listen to the teapot calling the kettle black.
Pot. What? It's a pot, not a teapot. The thing that calls the kettle black.
Oh, whose side are you on?
I'm not on anybody's side. No one will get it.
Lost my thread now.
I'm sorry.
Where was I?
He was calling you a dirty sod and you were calling him a teapot.
That's right. Don't think I don't know.
Know what?
About you and your women.
What women?
I can smell them on you, Derek.
You're crazy!
Crazy am I? Well then, how do you explain the bra I found?
What?
Last summer, his Morris Minor, there was a bra in it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're a liar.
Can I get you another drink, Jeanette?
Black, Lacey, ring any bells?
No?
We have peas or broccoli.
Latex, 34B cups, padded.
They were not padded.
So I think anyway, when it comes to English theatre in Sri Lanka, there are no professional bodies. That's why, for example, every single production says amateur theatre.
Yeah.
Even for example, this one it's presented, I mean, we got it from Samuel's French, but it's the amateur theatre version of it.
Exactly.
And I know, for example, there's a lot of theatre done in Sri Lanka. So, for example, you get a lot of people do Sinhalese theatre professionally, which I think is far more advanced.
Yeah.
And they've gone, I think, quite a step ahead versus English theatre. Whereas English theatre is a very niche community here, in which mainly happens in Colombo.
Yeah.
So there's everybody in English theatre. They just do it as passion and not for pay.
Yeah.
They have their full-time jobs, and theatre is something they come and do just to do something for fun,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to also remember that there's this opportunity with the different theatre companies already existing in Sri Lanka. There have been these actors from generations, I think from the 1940s and 50s, who were fundamental in bringing this art and making sure that there was English theatre within Sri Lanka. And I think because it's part of our national O-level literature and A-level literature syllabuses, it also can be used as a tool for education. Because a lot of the time, we don't think of it as a way to develop. We look at it as only an art form, but it actually can be a combination.
There was no bra, she's cracking up!
Oh yes, there was!
Where was it then?
Under the passenger seat!
I checked under the passenger seat!
We have sprouts. Can I get you some sprouts?
Let's have it out now, Derek. Come on. Let's lay it all out in the open. Tell us then, who was she? Who was the little slut?
How dare you call me a slut?
I think Sri Lankan theatre, we can do exactly whatever the international theatre does. But the only thing is they do it as a profession and we don't. And like I mentioned before, that is the bridge I'm trying to, that's the bridge I'm trying to create in terms of making this a profession in Sri Lanka. Because Sri Lankan artists, we do it for a passion and we don't get paid for it. Whereas international artists, they do it for a profession. But in terms of skills, I think the Sri Lankan artists can, match them at any time.
Well, I can understand her being upset at being married to Derek.
Just leave it.
I'd be pretty upset myself if I suddenly realized that I was married to Derek.
Mark, you really can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Can't you just leave it? It's none of your business.
None of my business. I am nursing a black eye thanks to this marital thing. I have to pay a police fine thanks to this marital thing. Our vase is broken. I haven't had dinner thanks to this marital thing.
Do you really want to know what upset her?
Derek, no!
I thought it's a sudden realization that she was married to a total pillar.
No, it was a sudden realization that her husband was screwing your wife.
So I think ambition, I think there are a lot of theatre groups here in Sri Lanka, well, Sinhala and English and Tamil. I think we all need to come together and work together to make this an industry, or make this a profession in Sri Lanka. So I think we are all doing a lot of good things in theatre. I have my own strength as a director. There are quite a few other directors in Sri Lanka who have their own strengths. But I think everyone put together, I think we can take Sri Lanka theatre to the next level.